Welcome to Duncan Thorin Shields YouTube channel.
Every single day of my life, drink a delicious portion of Gamer Subs. At the moment, I'm really enjoying the Sakura Splash flavour. It's a sour cherry. I've also quite enjoyed the brand new one, Browser Brew by Opera GX. It's a blackcurrant flavour. Actually, even some of the newer ones I tried were pretty interesting. Like there was like the Goof Juice one, which was like strawberry and kiwi. It was quite a pleasant blend, actually. Obviously, my go-to is just lemonade or strawberry lemonade or guacamole GameFart 9000. Get 10% off using the code, which is my name, Thorin, Thorin, at gamesubs.gg. So this is obviously a return guest, isn't it? Because it's TomTom94. So already we know this guy's really great, because if you don't know, he worked as some wonk for fucking Endpoint. It was nobody anyway, social media manager for Endpoint. He even admits himself he's a reply guy, and he even at the end gives his pronouns, which surprisingly for a man are he, him. So we know this is an incredibly special individual who, you know, really unique. What a free thinker this guy is. And also he's done the classic bozo move of, cause he's a nobody pleb who is quite young, he's just put his actual fucking year he's born in the name. So just let us know he's born in 1994. Cool. Okay. So what, while I was watching Pulp Fiction, he was Chex Notes being born. Okay. So this guy, famously, I roasted the fuck out of, because he, would go on Reddit and just say stupid ass shit because he had that tick and act like he knew about like contracts in giant orgs and things going on behind the scenes of massive TOs. By the way, someone in Endpoint would have no clue about whatsoever, but he just was abusing the fact that, oh, he's verified, he must know something, this guy. Like, by the way, this is like a Z-list esports celebrity. Exactly. And then because I roasted him on to one of these videos, because I showed where I pointed out HLTV hadn't disclosed that they were literally owned by a company where one of the people on the board was something like, well, one of the people who was an owner was like on the board with shares in Astralis. And his logic for real, like the worst reply guy angle ever, was it's not a big deal that they didn't disclose because he only owns a few percent. He's that fucking stupid. Well, actually, I guess he does own it and have an obvious direct conflict of interest, but that's not a big deal because I've decided it's not too many, is it? Like, just an annoying wanker hall monitor guy. So don't worry, because he now, with his enormous 759 Twitter followers, is another moron who's going, I'm going over to that blue sky. I'm getting out of this Nazi echo chamber. See me on blue sky. It's like, bro, you have 700 followers on Twitter after how many fucking years? After fucking 10 years, homie. Like, not even the 700 people see that. 109 people saw it, including me now, and I've looked at this twice. And some of these were people on my Discord finding this, posting it to me and mocking you. So this probably in reality had 60 views. And let me guess, how many fucking people migrated to your blue sky, you fucking cretin? And look at what he's chosen to put. Because what's brilliant about this in his own fan, I might even be one of mine donked on him. What's brilliant is he does one of those ones where they act like they're too cool and you're the one obsessed with them and give away in the post that you're incredibly important to them. So what post would he choose to do to show people, hey, I'm on this other platform, come check out my best tweets there? Or he would pick one where he goes, no comeback I could come up with would be funnier than the fact, pause, that's because you're shit at comebacks, guy born in 1994 who does social media for a tiny fucking shitter nobody UK org. Like, I don't know, mate. It almost seemed like you're not funny or someone with comebacks. But let's see the corp of why you couldn't come up with a comeback, right? No comeback I could come up with would be funnier than the fact a 41-year-old gambling influencer, pause. So I'm not Thorin, a famous celebrity in esports. I'm not an award-winning journalist in esports. I'm not the person who's probably the most prolific, most prestigious interviewer in the history of esports. I'm not someone who did the most majors in Counter-Strike as a broadcast analyst. I'm not any of these things. I'm not a famous esports historian. I am just, and this is the reasonable way to describe me, I'm just a 41-year-old gambling influencer. Already, I win this one 2-0 already. No, 3, because 3. 1, he's using me, a famous person, one of the only ones that interacts with him, as a way to try and beg like basically like 3 people who were going to see the post to go and follow him on a different platform full of left-wing wonks. 2, he admits he couldn't even come up with a funny comeback, so he already took the L there. And then 3, his only way to even seem like he can diss me is to call me a 41-year-old gambling influencer and just be incredibly uncharitable and quite frankly quite disingenuous in describing who I am and what I do. So he goes, the fact that a 41-year-old gambling influencer is searching through my tweets from 2 years ago to dunk on me. Oh, classic. He's actually done it, boys. Because point 4, he's done what really stupid people do with Twitter, which is they don't go, now before I say this and make a total fool of myself, maybe I should actually go and check how does Twitter search function work. No. What he does is he sees that I've talked about a post of his from 2 years ago, and he actually believes I went on his profile and just scrolled for 2 years of tweets until I got to one that happened to be about me. And so I'm obsessed with, I'm obsessed with him. Now, anyone who's followed this series and is tech literate will know that what you do is this. You just go to this box here and you type in anything you want. Watch this. That's like I've just typed something. I click advanced search. I'm now going to go to here. I'm going to put Tom94 and I'm just going to do this. Watch the word Thorin. And when I click search now, it will show me, is that not his account or something? Tom_Tom. I will find the 2 tweets he made about me instantly. Do you see how I didn't need to scroll back through 2 years of tweets there? I just did, 5 clicks? 5 clicks and wrote in 3 words. And I just found out anything he'd ever said about me instantly with no search time. So already, that sounds quite silly. Meanwhile, I just brought him up in a video to roast him because he's a bozo. He's using, apparently just some loser 41-year-old gambling influencer, the fact that someone mentioned him and went through his Twitter, as the main reason you'd want to go to a different social media platform and follow him. I accept your surrender. I win 4-0. It's all good. It's all good. I win. And then he put to dunk on me. Now, I dunked on you because you're stupid. By the way, I'm dunking on you right now. I'm dunking, and I'm dunking on you. See, you'd think dunk in, but I'm dunk on. Because I'm dunk on you, aren't I? You fucking shitter. If I actually had that social media platform, I'd open it and see how many followers he had. But I don't, and who gives a fuck, quite frankly. That's the end of us giving a fuck about him, by the way. By the way, he got 1 reply to that post. 1 reply, 3 likes, and 109 views. Bruh. Anyway, I love it. I fucking love it. I also love the way by the way, here's another thing. How am I simultaneously obsessed with every person I ever do a tweet about or block? I can't. If I'm obsessed with 10,000 people, by definition, I'm not obsessed with any of the 10,000, am I? It wouldn't work. It's not enough time in the day. Maybe you're just a narcissist. I don't know. Here's a good one. My favourite type of tweet is the one where someone does a totally reasonable post, watch, and then a mentally ill person goes, yeah, but you have to do this because I make the rules. So when the Esports World Cup, get ready for how mentally ill this whataboutism is. So the Esports World Cup has the gall to talk about this in May. And then what Monty does is he goes, looking forward to all my favourite teams celebrating Pride Month, the month after this. Is it June? I think so. And International Women's Day. And so because he's essentially implied, teams competing in this are hypocritical, some guy's going to go, well, here's a non sequitur. That means you're hypocritical, so stop having your opinions. So in comes moron. He goes, oh, so we care about women? No. Monty's post isn't about caring about women. His post, very clearly, contextually, is about the clubs competing in the Esports World Cup and the fact that behaviour implies they don't care about women and gay people. Keep track. Monty's talking about someone else. Isn't he dumb? So then you go, oh, we care about women. By the way, the idea Monty doesn't care about women. You know how much Monty loves women in esports? He fucking married one, you moron. So then this guy goes, maybe go talk to your buddy. Right, so it's not even about Monty now. Right, so Monty's made a post about the Esports World Cup and the teams playing it and some cultural things that are coming up. So this guy goes, you should go and talk to someone unrelated. Do you know why people hate fans? You. People like you. Maybe go talk to your buddy Thorin about that then. Let's see what reason, though. He must have a really great reason why he'd need to talk to me. Because obviously I'm doing something like pretending to care about women, then working with a regime that checks notes, imprisons and kills women. I must have done that for this to be so important. This needs to be brought up in response to Monty's post, right? It's not just a shit reply guy post. He goes, he seems to be a real stand-up guy for women in the scene, I think. Exclamation mark! Why would the exclamation mark be after I think, by the way? You're just a hack. Also, I'm a real stand-up guy. I helped Thoorin with her own tailored podcast because I wanted her to become a massive Chinese LPL analyst. She actually got back on the broadcast. I did a show with Emily Rand about LCK because I wanted her to become a famous on-camera personality. She's one of the main women in the broadcast side of esports. I wanted Kelsey Moser to become a big figure in esports. She became one of the best writers of all time and was working with EG until recently. I currently do a show called Feed the Trolls, which isn't even on my channel. I don't get 1 cent from, and I just do it because I think Tech Girl's awesome and I wanted to get more gigs as a host in Counter-Strike. It's weird how this worked. I hired Freya and I hired Pod. You know the rap guys, but as usual, because this guy's decided I hate women, not only has he decided it with no reasoning given, but Monty, now, if Monty ever says anything about women, he has to stop, not talk about people who are killing and abusing women or people who aid and abet them and are partnered with those people. He should actually stop and just lecture me and have struggle sessions with me about what a piece of shit I am with women because I must do something comparable to those people. And then lastly, just for the complete dog shit, whataboutism bingo, he goes, I also think that China is very supportive of the LGBTQIA plus community. Now, you know this. You know that China, the actual government, doesn't own, operate and run esports tournaments. So it's in no way contextually like this one. I will say you have to have relations indirectly with the Chinese regime in the sense that you have to have a local partner, and sometimes within those companies they will have a Chinese Communist Party member. But that's a number of layers of abstraction that actually it doesn't allow them the same necessarily level of influence that the Saudis have, for example. I mean, the Saudis will literally put members of their royal family on these projects and bring them to the events. You're never going to see the leader of China rocking up and saying, hey, you can't run this like mid-sized CS tournament with your local partner. So already his whole logic is, yeah, but if you do anything with China, then what about you can't ever call anyone out? I mean, by the way, by the same logic, if he cares about women and he agrees with Monty's point that you called out Saudis, well, the Saudis, at least a while ago, used to own Twitter. So logically, if we're not allowed to have anything to do with China, then you didn't use Twitter back then. Oh, wait, you did. You're just a fucking moron. Cool. Glad we nailed that one. Here's a good one. So you remember when Nico was about to win that godlike 1v5 against Vitality on Mirage, the decider of the semi-finals of Blast Fall, and he got killed by Apex when he was behind the bench and Apex was on the B site of Mirage, and he didn't do an insane 1v5, would have been the player of the year, and so because the last kill was even actually a fairly easy one, he kind of just whiffed it, he's punched the fucking table, didn't he? And it even like made him bleed a little bit. And what happened is all losers either went, one, that's outrageously, or they went, oh, you said when other people bang the desk like Halzerg, that is bad. So why is it okay when it's Nico? So I explained, I said, only half-wits would think Nico losing a 1v5 that would have been a contender for round of the year is equally appropriate a moment to slam the desk as Halzerg whiffing a normal AWP shot. The government should give your carer a tax break. Straight fire joke if you know countries like the UK. And then this guy goes, so you okay when he punched that desk, but if he would punch you at the event and pay for doctors, it would be okay? XD? This society, ... You know what? I can't even find a way into that. This is like that. This is like fucking the first 2 seasons of Westworld. I'm like the fucking man in black. Like, what is the maze about? And then they're like, the maze isn't for you. I can't handle it. That's so good. So, because I'm okay with Nico punching a desk, I would be okay with Nico punching me as long as he pays for the doctors. Okay. And then somehow, I'll never understand how, that's reflective of society. But you know what? We do live in a society, guys. Again, that perked me up. You see why I save them? There. Right, this is when, August 17th, so we're going to look this up. I'm going to go, I like the way it goes automatically. Gamers on board is female Twitter. I think that's because of when I did like the Frankie video or whatever. That goes there automatically. That's pretty funny though, that it goes there. Right, let's look this up. Surely that's I Am Cologne, isn't it? Isn't I Am Cologne in August? No, that was July, so it isn't. Which teams are we referring to there? August 17th. What tournament was in August 17th? We'll just pick a team that plays like every fucking tournament. So we'll look like FaZe Clan. What was in August? No, it was Cologne. Oh, I was on the wrong one. I was on Cologne 2023 maybe then. Oh, it was, yes. So that was, okay, right, that was, okay, I'm right here. This is going to be when Saw plays in the arena against Vitality and gets mega shit on. There we go, that's obvious, because obviously they'd fluked their way through this series here, hadn't they? And then they had that crazy result earlier in the tournament where they actually were able to beat like fucking G2. Even after that, and then they beat Mongols, who wasn't even that good. So basically, when they got ultra shit on, remember, I can never, ever be right in any context. So when I'm wrong, they will just use cognitive dissonance and pivot their brain to anything else to make me wrong, bad, and idiot. So when I put there are entire levels between these two teams, this is not a movie. By the way, isn't that a totally applicable, accurate thing for an analyst to say? That, like, actually there's an enormous difference between Team Vitality, one of the best teams in the world, and Saw. And actually, because this isn't a movie, yeah, Saw might have done some canny upsets, but they're not going to win this game. So this moron goes, why are you not in arena? So already, the cognitive dissonance now is, you can't have that opinion because you're not at the venue. Are you in the venue, by the way? Surely to call me out, you'd have to be in the venue. So he goes, you just talk shit every time. Now, I obviously don't just talk shit, but we get what this guy means. You just talk shit every time. That's why no one wants you in any important events. Right. So everyone who follows this channel will know it's provably on record. I used to work with ESL. They even wanted to hire me while I worked with Flashpoint. Go look at the first 20 minutes or whatever of that episode of By the Numbers I didn't appear on, where they brought on Carmack and Ulrich Schulze, the flying DJ from ESL. They say it's not from their side they don't want to work with me anymore, and that's just people like me have said I won't work with them. So it's already on record that I chose not to work with ESL. And Spotty, I won't be working with the Saudis. But no, the reason I'm not in the arena is because I talk shit, which he doesn't like, and that's why ESL doesn't hire me. And I'm really upset about that because I want to be in the arena because I really need to work. Oh, wait, I don't. That's right. I chose not to. And then he goes, irrelevant sack of shit. Now, you wouldn't waste your time tweeting an irrelevant sack of shit. Also, irrelevant sack of shit. Let's just think about how facts work. I mean, are there metrics to tell people's relevance? For example, at this moment. Oh, there are. They're on the screen. So my post had 168 likes. His has 6. My post was seen by 17,000 people. His was seen by 893. But okay. Then this guy goes, that's why they want him at important events. And he lists all the events I've worked, a bazillion events. But as you've learned with a moron, the time of when it starts that I've now finally done the bad thing. I don't even know what I've ever done that's bad. But what crime have I ever committed? What moral injunction could you ever put against me? But whatever crime I've committed that then makes everyone else thinking conveniently exactly what a loser thinks means they don't work with me, I'm irrelevant. That timer just starts separately for each human. There never even was a time I became irrelevant, was never hired anymore, and was evil. It just changes based on their feelings. So this guy goes, no one really likes him. I really don't know how anyone didn't punch him in the face like he deserves it. So let's just check again. For the millionth time, if you give an opinion that people don't like there are levels between Vitality and Saw, and this isn't a movie, you deserve to be punched in the face in real life. And I remember, I'm the sack of shit. I'm the sack, just talking shit. Cool. There you go. Cool Portuguese fancy. 24-year-old man, of course. 24-year-old man. Here's another good one. If Saw was actually good, they'd have won this 2-0. So when they played against FaZe, I'm trolling, obviously, because the team win 2-1's pretty good, isn't it? This guy goes, if Thorin was 1 meter close to me, he would have received 1 punch for 1 bullshit tweet. I like the way it's not just like, hey, I'd punch you. It's like, if you were 1 meter close to me, you would receive 1 punch for every 1 tweet. That's like almost the start of a math problem. So as a result, if you were 1 meter close to me 4 times every hour, and you did 7 tweets each occasion, how many punches would Thorin receive to the face from Yaroslav? Who has a fucking messy as an old man with fucked up like troll teeth fucking avatar. and 106 followers. So, oh boy, poor Thorin. Right. He's in his mind imagined himself beating me up. Then he's like reacting like it happened. And at the end, we're supposed to believe like, one, this will ever happen, or two, this was even worth his time typing and our time reading. By the way, that was probably like 27 views before I found this post. I should have put the timer, but you know what? We'll do this last three, then we'll do some Q&A. We'll do it like that. Let's see. So here's a good one. So what happened here is this. When JL won the MVP, a real fan of Eternal Fire on 2 posts about him winning MVP put the same message he put, I hope all this bastard's loved ones die in the war. Now, what's mental about that is, one, what an absurd thing to ever say as a fan. 2, he's Lithuanian, not Ukrainian, you fucking imbecile. So his loved ones aren't part of the war right now, as far as I know. And then 3, like, why would that even be a reply to him winning MVP? Remember, it's not like he lost and he intentionally ruined a bet you put on him. He just played awesome and was the MVP of the tournament. So his family deserves to die in the war. If you don't know, by the way, it's because they've just beaten Eternal Fire, who are very close to winning the tournament. So this is what Eternal Fire fans are like. So I said, if this behaviour surprises you, then you don't know Eternal Fire fans. Now get ready for terrible fans to always make my point for me when you point out they're terrible. He goes, I see there are lots of bunch of racists people in these comments. Pause. Why didn't you mention that there are lots of people like your friend, that's not just one person, saying insane shit like that they'll kill you, beat you, murder you, you don't deserve to live, you're a sack of shit, insults into... He doesn't notice that. What he notices is that anyone who doesn't like... By the way, I hope you understand, even though I didn't say Turkish fans, because I said Eternal Fire fans, his logic is that's racist. Because to mentally weak people, if you ever insult them, it must just be racism. Because they know if you go, he's insulting me, people might go, I don't know, nut up, you fucking pussy, and get on with your life. But if you go, it's racism, though, they go, oh, poor baby, oh, is it racism? Did they do a bad racism to you? So this moron goes, how dare you blame all the fans for what a few people did, question mark. Right. Let's just rewind a second. So first and foremost, I'm blaming all Eternal Fire fans. I'm not, of course. I'm saying, as a group, this is how they behave. This is a pattern you would see play out. I've seen it myself many times this year across their fan base. Secondly, the logic goes, how could you ever blame a few people for what... or a group for a few people. But he himself did that in the first comment. He said, I see there's lots of bunch of racist people. What would that have to do with my comment and other people that aren't them? Which is it, mate? It only shows what a vile and sick-minded... Remember the original post I put, if this behaviour surprises you, you don't know Eternal Fire. Again, you would think I'd posted some of the shit before. I'll kill you in the arena, you get one punch for every time. This vile and sick mind you have. These people are so over the top, it's fucking crazy. Turkey... it's going into politics now. Oh, fucking hell. Let's see where this goes. Get ready. Turkey, as a non-EU member, well, in Europe, is it? So seems fine to me. Turkey is a non-EU member country that supports Ukraine and their people without waiting something except you. What does that mean? What does it mean? Right, so Turkey is a non-EU member country and they support Ukraine. JL is from Lithuania. The fact that you support Ukraine as a country means it's okay to tell him to die in the war. What's the fucking logic? Can someone explain it? And then this last part, and they're people without waiting something except you. Right, are you ready for me to actually blow your mind, my dude? Since you're citing Turkey's support of Ukraine, spoiler, if it wasn't for the United Kingdom, my nationality and country, 1, there wouldn't have been the same funding for Ukraine. 2, they wouldn't have had some weapons. And 3, the war might not even be going on right now. I don't know if you know that Boris Johnson fella. He sort of went there and told them to keep fighting, didn't he? So in some ways, I actually outrank you. I win the supporting Ukraine scenario based on our nationalities / countries. Again, I don't know what that would have. Some would really say that when someone goes, their fans are fucked up, and then another person goes, I hope your loved ones die in the war, that if you yourself were a cool Turkish/Eternal Fire fan who isn't a douchebag, you'd just say, well, I'm going to focus on the guy in my group telling people that they should die in a war, not the guy pointing out this is what the fans like. And that way, by calling out the guy who's saying their loved one should die in a war, I'll show that I'm different from them, and there are different types of Eternal Fire. Instead, you just made my point for you, like a moron. Like a moron. So I did an interview with Chronicle, who's one of the best Valorant players. He played for Fnatic. And this guy goes, check my biggest interview I've ever done. By the way, this guy goes, why would the I Am Esports misogynist idiot? Right, what's brilliant about that is Chronicle comes from Counter-Strike. Let me let you in on a little secret, darling. You know the players who are the best players in Valorant? Nearly all of them come from Counter-Strike, but weren't top players. So are you ready? This is going to really hurt your feelings. They don't just like me, they revere me, and typically, to a man, after I do my interview, either in the thanks section of the official interview or when the camera is turned off, personally thank me for doing an interview with them and tell me things like I am a legend and they grew up watching my content and they watch my other interviews. So it's almost like I'm not just the I Am Esports misogynist idiot, am I? So then this person goes, can you explain? And they post an article from Sportskeeda. You know that famous esports coverage site, Sportskeeda? Oh no, you don't, because it's just a fucking site that has nothing to do with esports. This person goes, get ready for a totally incorrect thing. He goes, so ESL launched women-only tournament. Right, that's not even true. Have you ever seen the eligibility rules for who can play in that tournament? I would say to call it women-only actually sparks an incredibly controversial biological debate, but you just go ahead and do that anyway because you don't give a fuck about the truth. So ESL launched women-only tournament. Semler guy, right, you obviously don't know Counter-Strike, it's Semler guy, not just Semler, one of the most famous casters ever. By the way, probably to this day has a top 3 call ever in CSGO. The happy... What the hell? Dupree swear bullets against this Semler, against this idea. No, Semler was never against that. And they always take the 2 jokes Semler did of pronouns in bio and when is the men only tournament. They pretend that's a serious statement he made. They pretend his actual statement was there shouldn't be women only tournament and why aren't there men only tournament? Even though that doesn't even work as a gotcha because Semler himself would never say a man only tournament. He knows that there's no such thing. And that would never exist. In fact, it might even be illegal. It goes, receive backlash. Okay, get ready. Thorin jumps in to Semler defense. This is actually one of the closest ones to what happened. At least it didn't say I said all that shit, right? Thorin jumps to Semler defense and go on around. Okay, we're okay so far at this part. Not the Semler part. We're okay at this part. Both of their reasoning and reaction is just misogyny, sexism, and queerphobia. Right, so just to summarise, by the way, as a quick razor for when you go on online discussions, when people do something horrible, it'll actually tend to be one thing. It'll be something like you were sexist against a woman, or you were racist against a particular type of race of person, or you were hateful to a gay person. When they're a loser, what they do is they just take the scattershot approach. They try and say you're everything. So you're a racist, sexist, misogynist, transphobic, homophobic, queerphobic. You're just 50 things at once. At the end, you're basically just Mecha Hitler 9000 reborn in 2024 with a new BIOS. It's mad, isn't it? And by the way, also in my post, I never mentioned anything about gays or LGBT, so what would it have to do with queerphobia? By the way, in the modern day, they don't even know their own parlance. In the modern day, queer is what certain people, I believe actually Ryan at Push V said he was queer publicly. Nowadays, queer just means I just choose to say I have some sort of different sexual identity, but I might even just be a man who fucks women. But I'm just going to say I'm queer. It's a bit like what TomTom94 was doing earlier, if you know what I was talking about that scenario. So I don't even know why would it even be queer? Now you're just scared of people who might even who are just anything. It's like, by the way, notice as well, it's always that we're scared. We're just irrationally terrified of these people. It's not that they're doing stuff like that might be worth commenting or criticising them for things unrelated to their sexuality. But no, we're just terribly afraid of them. Brilliant. Okay, cool. Last one. I would suggest nobody do an interview with Closer, the Turkish jungler who played recently with Karmine Corp, because basically he just wasted hours and hours of my time with the reflections. And then here's the thing. In theory, I can release any video I've recorded. I didn't sign a contract with them. I didn't give them a deal. But typically, if someone asks me politely, like, can you not release that interview? I probably would consider it. So what happened is he then just came to me after that whole Eternal Fire drama when I had that interview in the can. By the way, he didn't even have a team at the time. He was looking for a team. And then basically, because of that Eternal Fire drama, he was just sort of like, you are hating on Turkey. Please don't release that interview or I will get hit. And I was like, you fucking bitch. You fucking loser. But here's the thing, though. For now, I decided not to release the interview. But in the future, by the way, I won't ever hold that condition. From now on, the second the interview finishes, or actually just the second after I press record, that's it. I own that footage. I can do what I want with it, mate. So I put, he is an entitled piece of shit who thinks he can waste hours of your life and then leave you with nothing to show for it. So this guy says, get ready again for mental illness. A way that a mentally ill person interacts with the world is solipsism. The whole world is just about them and their experience. So every time I get into trouble, I'm in trouble for something that annoyed them. If I don't get hired, it's because of something that annoyed them. If someone doesn't like me, it's for the same thing that they don't like about me. So this person, think of the context. So Closer, a jungler in League of Legends, has chosen not to ask me to not release an interview because of some drama with the CS team around the major. That's from Turkey. His logic goes, deserved considering you follow accounts posting blatant Nazi shit. Right, let's just rewind. So what happened was I did an interview with Closer. He then opened my follows, reviewed them all, and he found an account was posting blatant Nazi shit. He said, I can't be associated with people posting. No, that's obviously completely a mentally ill person's imagined version of what has happened. That never happened in any context, and there's zero factual basis to what they're saying. And spoiler, in the modern day, everyone's a Nazi by their logic. Donald Trump's a Nazi. Every single conservative is a Nazi. Libertarians are crypto-Nazis. Slightly left of centre people are Nazis in the making. Every other country where the Overton window slightly to the right is Nazi. The people who are old and fought in World War II on the side of the Allies and beat the Nazis, you're not going to believe it, they're all Nazis because they don't believe the modern things in 2016 and 2020 and 2024. They didn't get the firmware update. In fact, everyone's a Nazi who you don't like because you're a child and you're on the internet. And that's why I didn't have an interview, because of not even that I posted. It's because I follow accounts which, irrelevant to that, posted stuff which apparently is Nazi. Blatant Nazi. Ooh. By the way, I like the idea of blatant. Like, how does one post Nazi shit without it being blatant? You know, of all the things, of all the subjects and things you can post, that one's pretty binary. You're either posting it or you aren't. There's not really a way to be like, can you... He's wearing the outfit and everything. He's doing that fucking... He's put the fucking symbol. This is just blatant. Oh, let me guess. Do I normally do dog whistles? Like say things like, Blame F should still be in Astralis, or I think Faker wasn't the PC player of the year. Oh yeah, me and my dog whistles. Only the really smart people can hear. You know, only Eugene... You're not mentally ill. You're just a mutant that's got the ability to psychically understand what I'm saying really behind that post about the LPL remaining all Chinese, eh? Yeah, I'll bet. He wasn't so blatant this time, was he? Getting away with it again. They say no man is an island. We all need people who've got our back. And supporting me and the content on my channel are the following people: Matt Pugnatio Rajcula, The Concept, Animosity, Banediesel, Ben Glass, Jasun, Jensen Goh, Tosh, Thoorin, and you know it, always a special thanks goes up to my main man, Jerky's Minion. Do you want to ask a question for my video AMA? Do you want to take part in one of those lengthy discussions where I talk about whatever topics are on your mind? Do you want teasers, find out who the upcoming guests are, or maybe even to suggest a guest or a topic for my content? If any of those perks or others catch your fancy, well, put your money where your mouth is and join the Skrilluminati today, where? In the Patreon link in the description box below.